Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for the second and final time of the night for Sunday, March 27, 2016, around 7:16 in the evening, Billerica, Massachusetts. Hope you had fun today with your families or going out to eat with your families for Easter. It was a nice Easter, a little bit on the chilly side in New England, but we could take what we get because it was sunshine, and that was good because this time of year could be warm or could be cold. I was having a feeling that we would probably be 3 feet of snow out there because it was 70 degrees on Christmas. But we got lucky. Some news to report. The Boston Red Sox beat the Philadelphia Phillies by a score of 5-1 last week of spring trainings. This week, the regular season starts on the 4th. And also, Wisconsin Badgers men's hockey team has announced a new head coach. Former NHL player Tony Granato is going to be the next head coach, so congratulations to him. The final 2 spots of the final 4 are going to be determined tonight. Catch it on TNT. TNT has the rest of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, the Final 4, and the national championship game. This will be the first time in 35 years a network other than CBS will be televising the national championship game of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Jim Nance and Grant Hill and Bill Raftley will call it. I thought it would be somebody who worked for Turner like Marv Albert or Kevin Harlan. And UMass Lowell going to face off against Quinnipiac tonight, with the winner going to the Final 4, the Frozen 4 of hockey for NCAA men's. That's about it on news. My second and final video blog subject tonight is about disappointing teams in the NHL for the 2015-2016 season. There's been a lot of disappointments in the NHL, and here they are. The first biggest disappointment of the NHL for this season is Les Habs, the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens started 9-0 to start the regular season. A lot of people were saying they would be Stanley Cup champions, but in late November, the reigning Hart Trophy for NHL's MVP and Vezina winner Carey Price goes down with a lower body injury. He hasn't been back since. He's missed the rest of the season, and their top defenseman P.K. Subban is going to miss the rest of the season, having the star goaltender and the star defenseman out for a significant part of time. Is not good for any team, and the Canadiens been free falling ever since. It's the first time since 2012 that Les Habs will not make the playoffs. The next team that's been the most disappointing in the NHL is the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus Blue Jackets missed the playoffs last year because they had a slow start, but they had so much momentum. If the season was maybe 90 games, regular season 90 games, they probably wouldn't make the playoffs. But it's only 82, and a lot of people were picking them to make the playoffs as the second East wild card. They get off to a slow start. Then the coach Todd Richards gets fired, and John Tortorelli becomes new head coach, and they've been playing decent, but they've been so disappointing because a lot of people were expecting a playoff team. Another disappointing team in the NHL this year, it has to be the Calgary Flames. The Calgary Flames made the playoffs last year for the first time since 2009. They won a round for the first time since their improbable run to the Stanley Cup in 2004, and when they picked up Doug Hamilton, a lot of people were saying they'd make the next step maybe to a conference finals, or even some people were saying dark horse for the Stanley Cup. But they regressed this year. big time, and it was not good at all. Yeah, I think maybe a lot of things went right for the Calgary Flames last year that did not go right this year. Another disappointing team in the NHL this year has to be the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets got the final wild card for the Western Conference last year. First time they made the playoffs since returning to Winnipeg. And first time since the franchise 2007 when they were the Atlanta Thrashers, but they did not win a playoff game. They got swept by the Anaheim Ducks, and this season they just played bad. They won a lot of one-goal games last year, and one-goal games are kind of scary if you are on the right side of them all the time one year, but the next year you probably won't. You'll probably lose a lot of those one-goal games that you won the previous year because you can't be lucky year after year after year winning one-goal games. And they got rid of the captain, Andrew Ladd, and that was not good. And the Winnipeg Jets might be that team that bubbles around the playoffs every single year. I don't see them as a true Stanley Cup contender for years at all. Another disappointing team in the NHL this year has to be the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks were very awesome last year, got second place in Pacific Division with an aging team, but this team's continuing to age. They're not good besides the Sundin twins. Ryan Miller's had a so-so year. They got little or no defense, and they're falling into the bottom of the standings in the Western Conference. Another team that's disappointing this year has to be the Ottawa Senators. The Senators had a mad dash to get into the playoffs last year because they had that cock goaltender Andrew Hammond, and a lot of people were saying he could have led the Senators to the Stanley Cup Finals because he was such a hot goaltender, but he has not been playing that much this year. It's Craig Anderson, and Senators are going to miss the playoffs. And honorable mentions for disappointing team of the year is either, for me, is the Oilers, because I thought the Oilers would be better. I didn't think they would make the playoffs, but I thought they would be maybe in 4th or 5th place in Pacific Division because of Connor McDavid, because he's a generational player, but he misses 3 months of the season with a broken collarbone, and that probably killed the chances of the Oilers maybe trying to make a run at a wild card spot, second wild card in the Western Conference. And the Oilers going to miss the playoffs for the 10th straight year, and they could get the #1 pick in the draft again this year. It would be the 5th time they would get it in 8 years. That's so ridiculous. And the projected #1 pick in the NHL this year is going to be Austin Matthews. He's from Phoenix, Arizona. He's not related to Ken Matthews. And another disappointing team in the NHL as an honorable mention is the Minnesota Wild, but they're going to make the playoffs, but many people were picking them to maybe take that next step forward to be an elite team in the Western Conference, getting a guaranteed playoff spot. Or there was one or two experts were saying that Minnesota was potentially a dark horse to win the Stanley Cup. They're going to make the playoffs, but the Minnesota Wild is definitely not a Stanley Cup contender right now. And they are projected to face off against the Dallas Stars in the first round. That would be an awesome playoff series, but Stars probably win that one maybe 5-6 games. And that's about it on disappointing NHL teams this year. Hope you enjoyed this video blog. Tomorrow's going to be the regular 3 video blogs. It's back after maybe a weekend break of only doing 2 because of Easter and had to do some stuff yesterday. The subjects tomorrow I'm going to be covering are the top 100 sitcoms of all time, starting with number 100, going to 91. Second video blog of the day will be top candidates for the Jack Adams Award for NHL Coach of the Year. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about the former NWA WCW Supercard Clash of the Champions. Tell you about the history of that. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Button guy. Molly wasn't like the WCCO rocks and its nice legs. Elizabeth has so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swinsley's awesome. She's got nice legs as well. Julie Gower of Fox 25 is the best. Shirley Spear, Fox 25 rocks. And Lisa Hillary of Nesson is awesome. And in the words of Dee Patel last week, no boss. Good night, everybody. Don't forget questions, comments, concerns, shout-outs, plugs. Send it to me. The next Ask Rich Bulletin, probably not going to be for a month or 2, but I hope you'll get to enjoy them. I love doing these video blogs, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Sweet.